Christmas came early, which is what happens when you see something on Etsy and you don't want someone else to get it, and you get someone to help you pay for it, and it becomes your Christmas present. And it comes with a very nice note, which has some really lovely collateral. Thank you, Julia, for your lovely note. She is in Stanton, Virginia, though I'm told that the provenance on what we're about to unpack is not Virginian. So, one more layer, and there we are. We ready to take it out? So, very gently, I'm gonna lift this out of the box. Packed very much the way I pack my modern replica bonnets when I ship them, so that they're safe, wrapped in tissue paper, and in a plastic bag, just in case your postman doesn't pay attention to the weather and leaves it on the stoop. So, a lot of packing. And I already know that the condition is not great, but that is actually part of its appeal to me, because I'm interested in this. I want to know about how bonnets like this were made. So what doesn't work for a museum works really well for me. Now that the bonnet is out of the box, we have a chance to get a look at what was so interesting to me, which was how is this made? What materials and techniques did the milliner use to make this bonnet have this amazing calashi shape? Well, one fabulous thing that I had not expected to see is wire, pretty serious wire there, padded with lamb's wool or wool batting. And then this is all faced, as we see a lot of bonnets are faced or edged with a bias strip. Here it's come apart so that we can see even better the facing, the wool, the wire, which is right, the darker stripe there, and then this here is the cane at the very front edge of this brim. Whoop, back you go. The ruching is pretty incredible, and it gets a lot of its shape and form from the use of this cording that's in the hem edge and then stitched down with incredibly even tiny little stitches all the way along. You can see that the color has shifted over time throughout this whole bonnet. Oh, look at that. I hadn't noticed that before. It's a little tricky to see. Do you see how there's a seam there? I think that's a seam in the bias. Yeah, to get enough. Hey, just like we do today. Let's get a look at what's inside. What's behind the tissue paper? So, one piece, a second piece for those caul, some loose wires, and we get a good look at what's happening inside here in terms of construction. We can see we still have our wire friend here. We can see though that there's been a lot less light damage on the inside, so the color is still a deep green. We can see how the canes have been stitched in through a single layer. You can also see that that's fairly coarse thread, pretty sturdy stuff. These are actually where the silk is shattered or come apart. You can see the cane itself right there. These wires, I have speculation about those guys, still unfounded. And you can see how these two pieces are made separately and then joined. On the back, this is the part that's constructed of buckram, and we gently ease it. You can see that it's meant to have some folds for decorative effect. The cording is decorative, and that is cording and not cane. And we can see this guy was loose, but you can very clearly see the two sections. This is wired, this is cane, it's broken. But these two sections were joined together and then hidden under this bias fold, which became a decorative solution to hiding the seam between these two very different materials. Part of what's happening with the bonnet, aside from age-related issues and silk-related issues, is that the two construction methods joined together probably fought with each other. So this gives us from the top a really good look at the two kinds of construction methods, joining, and the kind of asymmetry that we can see. Not just that the canes are misshapen, but if this is the center line, these cords aren't hitting it perfectly. So I think we can all feel a little bit better about the way we're making and decorating our bonnets when they're not perfect. But we definitely get a good look at the cording and the way that that ruching on the back decoration mimics this in the front, so it makes a nice unifying theme between the front and the back. We also get a look at the cording piping here that's inside this decorative bit between these two. It's there to help hide the construction. And then as we go down, I mean, this just keeps wrapping around. It's gathered down here to the back and then covered with another folded hemmed bavolet. So that's pretty much the entirety of the bonnet. She definitely really needs some conservation. And she needs some TLC just in terms of handling. So the thing to do with her now is I'm going to pack her away very carefully and make some time in the new year to bring her, clear the table, bring her out, do some drawings, and do some more research in the intervening weeks to get a better sense of when this bonnet was made and what fashion trends she was following.